Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining in for our Festival at Home series. I hope that you have enjoyed several of our productions that have been coming out earlier this month and the month previous. We are continuing with our Festival at Home series, and we'll be doing it this month and then also in August, and then a little bit in September. So if you're just now joining us, you have a lot more to see. So keep coming back, keep coming to the website and checking out our Festival at Home series. We're glad that we get to do something for you while we're all half quarantined, half not quarantined, not decided if we're quarantining, if we're moving out, moving forward. We don't know, but we're still online. At least we can do this, and we will continue to do this until we can get back into our lovely Black Box Theater and see everyone in our home. We're excited about that. So let me introduce myself. I am Jason Richards. I am the Executive Artistic Director here at St. Croix Festival Theater. Before we get too far, I want to thank our sponsors, as always, First Resource Bank, Lures Bjornson Artworks, and Amory Hospital and Clinic. They had a long line of donors and supporters that do a lot for us here at St. Croix Festival Theater, and we're very thankful to them and all of our supporters who have done so much to keep us here in the St. Croix River Valley. Yes, a big hands of applause for them. Thank you so much. We're going to do a bit of a mock audition today. Ellie, which one of you is Ellie? There is Ellie. She's going to do a monologue for us, and we've got a panel of experts. Traci and Mark are here to do to be our panel of experts. And so when Ellie does her monologue, then we're going to give her some notes and work on it a little bit and see how she responds to that. So you can see what it is that a director does in rehearsal and how an actor responds to that or doesn't respond. And then we move on from there. So I think we're going to get to see some interesting behind the scenes look at what a director and an actor can do and how that manifests itself in a mock audition. We'll say that. Again, my name is Jason Richards, and I'm coming to you today from Waco, Texas. And then we have Traci.
Hi, I'm Traci Ledford. I have an MFA in directing from Baylor University, also in Waco, Texas, but I am currently outside of Dallas and Murphy, Texas. I'm a freelance director.
Nice. And we have Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Baer. I'm currently at home in Crown Point, Indiana.
Oh, nice. And we have our auditionee, Ellie.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm currently in Lisbon, Iowa.
Oh, nice. We're representing our 50 states. Great. All right, so to get started here, we'll probably let Ellie just take the stage, so to speak, and the rest of us will let our videos go, and then we'll let Ellie do her monologue. So, Ellie, what is this monologue from, first of all?
I will be doing a monologue from Saint Joan by George Bernard Shaw.
Oh, Saint Joan. Okay, great. Well, then I'm going to get rid of my video as well, and then you can just do your piece when you're ready, and then just say thank you at the end, so we'll know you've finished acting, and then we will come back on and we'll talk about it.
Sounds good.
All right. Have fun.
Yes, I am alone. I have always been alone. I thought that God would have friends everywhere because he's a friend to everyone, and it was in my innocence that I believed that you who have now cast me out would be tall towers keeping me from harm. But I'm wiser now, and no one is any worse for being wiser. You cannot frighten me by telling me that I am alone. France is alone. God is alone. And what is my loneliness before the loneliness of my country and my God? I see now that God's strength is in his loneliness. Well, it shall be my strength too. It is in him that I will dare and dare and dare until I die. I will go now to the common people and let the love in their eyes comfort me from the hate in yours. Thank you.
Ooh, hate in yours. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie. Let me ask you a few questions, and then we'll let our panel weigh in. Is this a new piece for you, or is this something you've been working on for a while, or how did you come across this piece?
I used this piece for the Irene Ryan acting competition.
Okay.
So I've had coaching on it a few times.
So, and how long has that been now? How many
That
months
was
or
in
weeks? It was months?
January, but I haven't used it since then. Like, I haven't been working on it since then.
That's all right, no worries. So, but it's a relatively new piece to you.
Yeah.
Let me ask, just because I don't know, what led you to this piece? Did you find it?
Um,
Did someone find it for you?
no, I was desperately looking for material for Irene Ryan's,
Sure.
and I was just looking at playwrights that I knew like were accredited and stuff that we had like gone over in class.
Ah,
And I saw this for very cheap at a bookstore, and so I picked it up and I read it, and I came across that monologue, and I was like, "That's it. That's the monologue."
nice, nice. And what was it about the monologue that struck you?
Um, I think I really liked her, how determined she was and how strong and unapologetic she was.
Yeah,
And that's a character that I like playing. I like that to get that chance.
yeah,
I thought it was going to push me. Um, and I really want to be in the play now. So,
good. Yeah, it's always nice when you find a piece like that that makes you want to be in the play. I like that. It doesn't always happen, so that's good. Uh, Let me ask you a couple more questions, and then we'll turn it over to our panel. Who are you talking to in this monologue?
I'm talking to the Archbishop, among other people, who are basically telling me that I need to cool it or I'm going to be arrested.
And who is the Archbishop to you? Do you have a personal relationship with this person?
Um, if not more, he's kind of the antagonist. If I'm the protagonist, he's kind of the antagonist.
Yeah.
And I'm trying really hard to, um, I'm not trying to disobey him, but like he is the person that I'm acting against.
Okay. Okay. And what has happened prior to you speaking, like a moment before? What is the impetus to start speaking?
hmm do you want the one from the play or the one that I'm using?
I,
Because I switched it slightly for the sake of a monologue.
I want the one you're using, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So my moment before is the Archbishop saying to me, like, you can't get any further. You can't do this alone. And then she interrupts that with, yes, I am alone. I've always been alone.
Mm, 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 mm. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So far, so good. So we will, if we have someone from our panel, Traci or Mark, that may have a question or want to start or anything they want to ask.
My first question
Yeah.
is, Ellie, you said that the one that your impetus for launching into this monologue was the Archbishop and the way he treated you.
hmm
Is there anything in the text in that scene? I think this is scene 5, I may be wrong, of the play, that is also an impetus, because the Archbishop isn't the only one there, am I correct?
No, he is not. I have my copy with me as well. Um, mm, Bluebeard is the easy one to say. Uh,
Yes.
do you do you know? I've only read the play. I've never heard it.
It's all right.
Denois.
Yeah, Dunois.
Dunois. There it is. The Archbishop Charles. So it's a group of people.
Yeah,
Yes.
so like Charles is the king, so the king is there too, correct?
hmm
All right. Cool. So what might then the sort of panel, if you will, of antagonists against Joan in this scene, how would having all of them kind of telling her to simmer it down, shut it down, be smaller, be quieter, work towards the initial moments of this monologue?
hmm I think keeping that in mind, like the given circumstance of all those people, I think it could definitely add more panic or trying to conceal panic. I think that she, I think with that note in mind, I probably started too confident, and I think she definitely ends on a confident note, but maybe because there are all those people, she starts off and she kind of has to work herself to that place.
Mm-hmm. Um, So also in the given circumstances, this is after she's done most of the battles. Am I correct?
Yes.
So in a sense, at this point, she is battle hardened.
Yeah.
And she has learned to become quite the commander. I don't know about you, Ellie, but as I read this play, I read it from her perspective, and especially as a woman, of trying all the time to plead with men of, hey, I have an idea and this is going to work, and I know it's going to work because of this, this, and this, and having them come back with, put on a dress, go back to the farm, you need to speak less, you need to be this, that, or the other, you need to fit inside our box. And I think what's beautiful about Joan is that she is like, I'm in nobody's boxes but God's, full stop.
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually want to kind of challenge you to actually start this monologue. Maybe she's a little surprised by the pushback she's getting from them, but remember, she's battle hardened and she's a leader. So I would actually start as more of a commander.
Okay.
That's just that's what I would like to see. I'd like to see you start this, like taking in what all your soldiers have just told you and setting them right, because she's correcting them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would like to see, because she says, it shall be my strength too, later on in the monologue. And so I think we need to see that strength. As I would like to see the commander in Joan.
Okay.
And I would like to see her put her soldiers in their place for their lack of faith.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't know if Mark wants to jump in on that, or if we just want to launch and have her.
Well, I'd love to see her take those notes. I think that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great note. So I think we'll do the same thing again. Ellie, we'll just kind of give you the stage, and we'll turn our videos off, and then when you end, we'll come back.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Yes, I am alone. I have always been alone. I thought that God would have friends everywhere because he's a friend to everyone, and it was in my innocence that I believed that you who now cast me out would be tall towers keeping me from harm's way. But I'm wiser now, and no one is any worse for being wiser. You cannot frighten me by telling me that I am alone. France is alone, God is alone, and what is my loneliness before the loneliness of my country and my God? I see now that God's strength is in his loneliness. Well, it shall be my strength too. It is in him that I will dare and dare and dare until I die. I will go now to the common people and let the love in their eyes comfort me from the hate in yours. Thank you.
I think you took those notes very well, Ellie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice job, Ellie. This is a great piece, and I really appreciate you being willing to work today. I don't know, I got to tell you, this is scratching an itch for me a little bit. We haven't been in rehearsal for several months, so it's really kind of fun to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So I agree with absolutely everything Traci said, and I love the analysis that you guys started to dive into with the given circumstances, right? I think that's the place to start. To me, when you're performing a monologue has to be about change.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest mistake that actors make preparing for an audition or something is to paint their monologue character with a single brush. That it's in this piece I'm going to be angry, or in this piece I'm going to be funny, right? We want to see the character change from the beginning of your little story. Your story has a beginning, a middle, where something happens, right? That middle has something happens to the character. It's something happens for the character, or it happens in the character. And by the end, the character is different from where it started, right? That's right. So that's every piece ever, right? So if you're thinking about this piece, right, where do you think in the piece there's an opportunity for a moment of change? When does Joan shift in this piece? Can you give me a line or a spot?
I think it would probably be at I see now that God's strength is in his loneliness.
Ooh, good.
I think
Yeah.
that's a big moment for her. And then she's like, okay, well, if he can do it, so can I. And then that is what moves her forward.
Right. It's so easy. I think you're exactly right. That's a great choice because I see now, she's talking about right now, right? Like not I see in general or I see in the past, right? Right. She's talking about, oh, I see now, right this moment. And now that realization is changing me to do something new. I'm deciding to do something new, right? What does she decide to do?
Embrace her loneliness, like accept the fact that she's doing this alone and that's enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And she's going to go out and do this thing because of that, right? She's going to go out and do, right? She decides it right then, right? That's really, really important. Whatever line causes you to start speaking is a surprise, right? And as battle hardened as you are, you still have to deal with it in that moment, right? And then the fun of this moment in the play is that we watch her process it out loud until she sees now and then chooses what to do about that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So I want you to this time through last, I won't ask you to do it again this last time maybe. Right? Hear that question, let it surprise you, right? Whatever is said to you right before you speak, let it surprise you a little bit. And then have to search until you find that moment of change.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. We'll give you the stage to try again, Ellie. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, I am alone. I have always been alone. I thought that God would have friends everywhere because he's a friend to everyone, and it was in my innocence that I believed that you, who now cast me out, would be tall towers keeping me from harm's way. But I'm wiser now, and no one is any worse for being wiser. You cannot frighten me by telling me that I'm alone. France is alone. God is alone. And what is my loneliness before the loneliness of my country and my God? I see now that God's strength is in his loneliness. Well, it shall be my strength too. It is in him that I will dare and dare and dare until I die. I will go now to the common people and let the love in their eyes comfort me from the hate in yours. Thank you.
Good. I feel like you took a step in that direction and that you could even go farther with that structure, right? That structure. Can you walk me through the first couple lines of the speech? Just say from the top, and I'll probably interrupt you.
Yes, I am alone. I have always been alone.
Right. Why has she always been alone? What does that mean?
I think it's just that everything has always been working against her. Like she's a woman trying to do a man's job in this time. And that has caused a sense of isolation. Like she's doing exactly what people don't want her to do.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever felt like that? You don't have to tell me a specific instance, but
yeah, no, for sure.
That like you just have, there's just nobody on your side
in
this case, right? And so when they call out that, like, what are they trying to do to you when they're pointing out that you're alone?
I think they're trying to break me down. They're like,
Uh-huh.
just at this point trying anything to stop me, and by telling me that I'm alone, I think that they think that'll do it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and that button, is that the right button to press on you? Is that button, would that work?
Me personally, or me the character?
They're the same, right?
They are.
Right, yeah.
I think that if she didn't have the realization that God is also alone, then it would be the right button. Like, I think that could have
Yeah.
been. But then she has this realization. She's like, I'm doing this for God. He is alone. It's okay.
Yeah, what a gift to the script, to this moment, if you make that thing that they say your character's biggest fear, right? I don't know if you've ever been called out in front of everybody, right? But I don't know. I've had a student say to me right in the middle of class, like, "But isn't this your greatest fear, Professor Baer?" Right? And I'm like, right, and right. So, right there, if you're vulnerable to that thing, and then we watch you overcome that. Mm-hmm. Right? Right? The bigger the drama, the bigger the harder it is for you to get through this moment, for Joan to get through this moment, the more interesting your performance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So like whatever it is that they poke right before you start speaking is that's in the bad place, right? And you have to find a way, just like Traci was saying, to then be a leader and not somehow not let that, right? Does that make sense? Do you want to expand on that, Traci, or go in a different direction?
Absolutely. Because like I think because I'm also looking at the text over here on the side, and it's like these guys have just told you be smaller, be quieter, essentially. Mm-hmm. You know, and they do it under the premise of we're protecting you, but really what they're doing is they're protecting themselves. Mm-hmm. And the backlash that they are going to face, either as a kingdom or as leaders within the church or in the lands, you name it. But she also says there's a part in a monologue that you're not doing. I don't know if you're editing for time or whatnot, where she talks about my family did this to me too.
Yeah.
And so we see, as a complex character, Joan has been rejected by her family for her outspokenness, from her father, her brothers, and for the people who were on her side and whose cause she is taking up, she has been rejected. And she's, I think in a way, she's kind of chastising herself. Like how naive I was to think that you guys would be on the same team as me. My bad, you know? And so kind of echoing that's the realization she has, you know? And yes, we can, I love the idea Mark has about the journey, but that also changes your tempos through the monologue. And we need to check and see, where is she slowing down because she has to process this? And when does she get fired up and shoot across with her dialogue to attack those guys, put them in their place? You know, so when is she reflecting? When is she hurting? And then when is she attacking with confidence? Because you know what? God was alone. If he was alone, I can do this too, you know, and go from there. So, you know, as you look at it and as you work on it, I don't know if we want to have her do it again, Jason, or not.
If there's something maybe specific you want to see, perhaps, or Ellie, you want another shot at it and say, look, let's kind of put all these things together and see what that looks like. And I think I always find that interesting.
Yeah, I would like one more shot at it.
Yeah. So as you go into it this time, listen to Mark's idea about the journey, but that's also the decision she's making in real time as she's processing this, and process the pain in her past, as well as the surprise in the present of hearing this from these guys, and then her determination for the future. Okay. And maybe we can make that the journey.
Okay.
Awesome, girl.
All right, here we go.
Yes, I am alone. I've always been alone. I thought that God would have friends everywhere because he's a friend to everyone. It was in my innocence that I believed that you who now cast me out would be tall towers keeping me from harm. But I'm wiser now. No one is any worse for being wiser. You cannot frighten me by telling me that I am alone. France is alone. God is alone. And what is my loneliness before the loneliness of my country and my God? I see now that God's strength is in his loneliness. Well, it shall be my strength too. It is in him that I will dare and dare and dare until I die. I will go now to the common people and let the love in their eyes comfort me from the hate in yours. Thank you.
Good work. Nice. I can see it changing each time
Yeah.
you do it. Yeah, it's really maturing.
It is growth. Just to kind of butt in here a little bit so our audience knows, this is really difficult what Ellie is doing. To take notes in the moment and then use them immediately without the comfort of going home and going, now what were they saying? I need to add this and I can add it here, maybe in this line, but just on the fly to put notes into action. That's very difficult to do. As it's easy for a panel of experts to sit here and go, oh, here's an idea and here's an idea and here's an idea, but to put those into action, to actually put them into the monologue, it's very difficult. So hats off to Ellie for being brave enough to come here and be get put through the ringer a little bit to do these monologues. So we certainly appreciate what you're doing.
Absolutely. And monologues, by the way, monologues are the worst, right? We can all agree.
Yeah.
Right. Good. Acting alone without anybody giving us anything back, right? If we were doing this show, we would be working a scene, and there would be, even if they weren't also speaking, we would be able to work on a real interaction between two people, right? Rather than trying to manufacture out of thin air. So nicely done.
Yeah, that's a great point. Part of that manufacturing, I think the next level for you in this monologue is to think about where you physically are and how that changes the monologue, and the urgency of at any point they can say, you need to stop talking. You're finished. And so you have things to say, and once you get on a roll, you need to make sure you get out the things you want to say without someone interrupting you or just telling you to quit talking. Woman, you need to quit talking. So, and that could very well happen. So the urgency to say your piece will help you, kind of power this monologue through.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I want to echo real quickly what Jason was saying. He's exactly right. Like, she has these lines where she talks about, it is better to be alone with God. His friendship will not fail me, nor his counsel, nor his love. In his strength, I will dare and dare and dare. And she's building and building and building. And so these are great words to really make it the speech that rouses the troops. But the troop she's actually rousing is herself to battle. Does that make sense? She's convincing herself that this is victory. This is the way to go. So when you hit those lines with that repetition, really light yourself on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. You are your own hype video. Yeah.
Yeah, with apologies to Joan for that metaphor.
That's funny. What? Right. Anybody else? Anybody have any other comment or question? Anything for Ellie? Anything you want to say to us, Ellie? A question you may have that we haven't talked about?
I guess the only thing that I go back and forth with on this monologue, and maybe it will come with the urgency, is how much to play that she's a young character. That was some feedback that I got in when I did this for Irene Ryan's, and they said that I should consider more that I tried really hard to stay solid because I was trying to be a leader, like a take on that. But they said maybe I should play around with the fact.
Play around with the fact that what?
He's so young.
Oh.
But she's about your age. She's 19, right? And you're what,
Yeah.
21?
Yeah.
So to me, just be that age.
Okay.
Be you. Yeah. But whatever Ellie is feeling about this moment, Joan is feeling it too. Whatever confusion you have, she has it. Whatever irritation you have, she has it. Yeah.
I mean, what's maybe amazing about her, about Joan in this moment, is her ability to be inspired by her belief in God, right? Her ability to let that be the only thing that matters, right? And so that I don't know. I don't know how a person plays age. That's a confusing note to me.
Okay.
I think I would, yeah.
Agreed. Okay, great. I think that was great. It's exactly kind of what I wanted this little session to be about, the give and take from the actor and the director and the auditioner, and what that sort of feels like, and how you honor the actor while still trying to guide them in a way that fits the world of the play that the director is trying to create. That's a difficult skill, and it is a skill to get everybody in harmony and moving in the right direction. So thank you all for that. I don't know, I guess that may be the end of our time here together.
Lots of fun. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, you
Thank
guys did it well. Ellie, again, thank you for your bravery to come out here and put it on the line for us. We certainly appreciate it. You did a great job.
Thank you. Anytime.
Great. All right, again, please check out our other videos we have at our Festival at Home series. You will find a new one every Saturday night. So come back and check us out and make Saturday nights festival night. So thanks again. We'll see you all soon.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.